We are bringing you our 5th game live from the Ynares Sports Center in Pasig for the 18 under of the North Division as we still continue to bring the live action from the one and only Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. For our games today, first set of 3 was done between San Pedro and Las Piñas. 14 under division between Antipolo and Mandaluyong already done as well. Heading on to our Antipolo versus Mandaluyong 18 under division. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. The name is Cho Pangilinan covering the action with the Coach Mark Dandan and with our courtside reporter Miss Daphne Cristobal. Coach Mark, Antipolo, second game of the season. Mandaluyong, the reigning national champions, their season 2 debut today.
Well, again, Antipolo riding a wave of momentum. Matalo Mandaluyong trying their first game, trying to reclaim the throne, trying to get a back-to-back championship. Something that obviously never been done here in Junior MPBL.
And yes, talking about Antipolo, I said their second game already. So let's talk about their unfortunate loss against the Manila Health Forum with Doc Atoy.
Well, to name a name, Benedict Jimenez happened. Had the monster fourth quarter, battling foul trouble, but he was unstoppable in that fourth quarter. And Antipolo has to do a lot of soul searching because they were outplayed. Just in that fourth quarter, actually, they were in control, but they allowed Benedict Jimenez to take over in that fourth quarter. They had more bench points, but they shot poorly from the outside, 2 out of 18 from three-point land.
And now talking about the Mandaluyong Junior Microsmith, again, as I've mentioned, Coach Mark, the reigning national champions making their Season 2 debut.
Oh, they were the first seed in the North. They won, they bulldozed through the playoffs, only lost to Rizal and Pampanga in the elimination round, and they beat Davao in the national finals to be crowned the first ever national champions for the 18 under division.
Yes, Coach Mark, definitely a showdown to be excited about. But right now, let's turn it over to our venue announcer, Kagawad Balong Rosetes.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, basketball fans of Junior MPBL. Welcome to Ynares Sports, Pasig City. Here we go for the 5th match. This is 16 under division of Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL Season 2. Ang liga ng bawat batang Pilipino. It's a battle between Antipolo JY Titans versus Mandaluyong Junior Microsmith. Let's meet the stars from your Antipolo JY Titans. Number 19, playing guard, Jago Abuana. Also at guard, number 2, Lordy Joaquin. Forward, number 8, Nino Rafael. Power forward, number 34, Aaron Nashon. The man in the middle, number 17, Gab Toliao. The head coach of Antipolo JY Titans is Coach B-Boy Simon, assisted by Mark Ordones and Ike Caderao. And now, it's time to meet the starters from your Mandaluyong Junior Microsmith. Playing guard number 6, Iris Chua. Also at guard number 13, Yasin Alzuayan. Forward number 29, Bon Daha. Forward number 15, Oliver Almonte. Center number 21, CJ Satparan. The head coach of Mandaluyong Junior Microsmith 18 under is Coach Mark Herrera, assisted by Coach Young Katekisa. The game's official at this match, your crew chief, John Mahinay.
In our Doray, the bola ng Pinoy team starters first. For the Antipolo JY Titans, we have Diejo, Saez, Ferrer, Nashon, and Toligo. For Mandaluyong, we have Chua, Elduayan, Daha, Almonte, and Sat. And our first quarter jump ball starting in a bit. First possession going to the Antipolo Titans. Trying to set up the offense. Ends up with Ferrer. Played phenomenal last game. Nashon ends up with it. Now taking it inside. Nashon First bucket of the ball game. Short stab for Nacion.
Much like their first game, Antipolo getting it done inside the paint.
Nacion tallied 8 points and 8 rebounds in their last outing, as possession going to Antipolo once more.
The start wasn't really the problem para dito sa Antipolo JY Titans. Really the finish, because they allowed just really one player to dominate in that fourth quarter. Again, going back to Benedict Ynares, literal, nag-bulldoze lang siya sa loob eh.
Yeah,
We covered that game, di ba?
Yes, Coach Mark, that sequence where he got like 6 free throws in a row in 3 straight possessions. But meanwhile, a nature spring timeout called by the Mandaluyong Junior, Microsmith. Another look at that three-pointer from Saez to make it a 5-0 run for the JY Titans. The Junior MPBL shall be back.
Para dito sa Antipolo JY Titans, sabi nga sa akin ng coach nila, syempre masakit yung pagkatalo nila in the previous game, but it's something that they will really learn from. During training nga, they really focused in terms of their defense. Dapat hindi sila nagpapakampante, especially in the final minutes of the game. They really have to put in the work, and he was very specific with Bailon since right after nung 3 errors niya, doon talaga sila nawalan ng momentum. But then, nag-apologize nga daw si Bailon sa kanya, and then he is hoping na he will really bounce back for this match. On the other side of the court naman, para dito sa team Mandaluyong Junior Microsmith, Justin Elduayan is now part of the 18 under bracket. Grabe, ang dami talaga nangyari for this team. Ang dami rin nawala sa kanila, but they just had less than a month of preparation and 1 formal practice. So let's see how both of these teams will perform this afternoon. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Daphne. An interesting note talking about Adrian Bailon was actually a starter for their last game, played almost 9 minutes but tallied no points, and actually not a single statistical category filled up by him.
Oh, looking at this Mandaluyong squad, so 2 names stand out. You have Bondaha, part of the Batangilas under-16 team. Also, Iros Chua, also part of the under-16 team. And more famously, scored 121 points in one of the leagues here in Manila.
Yes, and Daphne also mentioned Justin Elduayan. So a couple of familiar names in our Mandaluyong Junior Microsmith. Actually, Iros Chua was lined up last year, the 16 under division. Hindi nga lang siya nagpapakita, coach, because sabi mo nga, busy siya with Batangilas. So hopefully this time, mas madalas na natin siya makita.
No, this kid can shoot from Shaw Boulevard. It'd still be a good shot. And that's how good of a shooter he is. I mean, I've seen clips of him pull up from half court like it's nothing. So I'm really looking forward to see him, play here. Alam natin, first game ng Mandaluyong ito, but they have some prospects here worth keeping an eye on.
And coach, even if you think na it's a bad shot from half court, Coach Mark Herrera doesn't. And that's the only thing that matters for him. He always has the go signal of Coach Mark. So definitely we'll see a lot, or maybe some shots from him in that half court, or at least in that logo area. But meanwhile, 3-pointer from Nino Ferrer. 2 plays ago, a 3-pointer as well for Mandaluyong. So make that 8-4. And a short stab coming from Almante.
That's huge front line for Mandaluyong. Daha and Almonte.
Here comes Chua off that pass, firing for deep. Doesn't fall. Saus with the board. Here comes Antipolo. No good on that attempt. So right now it's a 2-point lead for the Antipolo JY Titans. Under 7 minutes remaining. So far, 2 fouls named to Antipolo. No fouls for Mandaluyong. Here comes Almonte, the fake puts up the shot, doesn't fall. 2 free throws coming up for Almonte.
You see the kids with experience here, Almonte, Daha, Chua, yung kilos nila parang hindi pa pinapawisan eh. Just really taking their time, trying to feel out their opponent. And yung mga ganitong team, as Daphne said, they've only had 1 formal practice. Pero with talent like this, alam mo na, you can just give the ball to them, gagawa silang paraan. And Daha and Chua are actually teammates under the De La Salle Zubel program.
Meanwhile, that pass from Abuan inside to Nashon. He's not able to convert. Here comes Mandaluyong. Running the race that time, no other than Justin Elduayan.
No transition defense, and that's been a problem for Antipolo. Since their first game, they allowed Bendic Jimenez just to go coast to coast sometimes there.
Antipolo, Saez kicks it out. Abuan has the leather. Sends it to Nashon. Nashon off the mark, put back, going in for Mark Quintero.
And so far, the front line for the JY Titans answering very well. Let's see if it holds up.
The golden hand having the ball. Uses the screen from Elduayan. Chua has the leather, takes it inside. The golden hand not scoring. But a whistle from our officials. So I believe that is a foul on the floor, or rather a penalty, since Antipolo already reaching the foul limit as we see the putback from Mark Quintero. So right now, Chua receiving it, quick fire 3. Still off the mark for Chua. So here's De Leon off that Abuan pass. Great transition offense for Antipolo.
Great finish there using the off foot. Wala nang dribble because Daha was trailing right behind him.
Elduayan short on that attempt. Antipolo has it. Abuan gets it to Ferrer at that right wing, now at the corner. Sends it to the other wing. De Leon, now Abuan once more. Ferrer has it for 3. Off the mark. Nashon getting fouled. Rather, that was Quintero getting fouled. So 2 free throws coming up. So far has 2 points.
Again, so far so good for the JY Titans front line, doing their job. And much like their first game, guys like Nashon, Quintero, working hard underneath the paint. Pero again, once Jimenez ran rampant in 4th quarter, they weren't able to find an answer for him. They have to be more consistent. Hindi lang 1st to 3rd quarters ang trabaho nila.
Yes, basketball is 4 quarters for a reason. Meanwhile, Mandaluyong trying to generate some offense. Chua sends it to the other side. Attacking the paint. Completing the drive courtesy of Bon Irvin Daha.
I like what I'm seeing from this kid, Bon Daha. 2 dribbles right at the basket.
Nino Ferrer has it for Antipolo. Catched by Quintero. He's outside. Sends it to De Leon. He enters the paint. Mid-range jumper from inside the key. That is Mark Quintero.
Good job getting the ball into the paint. Paint touches usually result in good things. That time opening up a jump shot for Quintero.
Daha to Chua. Tough shot. Doesn't fall for Irus. Going in that time, courtesy of Almonte.
Chua right now forcing it a bit, trying to look for his offense. Alam mo, medyong kailangan pa niya mag-warm up ng konti.
De Leon firing. Puts it in despite that good contest from Irus Chua.
This is the start that Antipolo really wanted in their second game after that disappointing loss.
So it's Bon Irvin Daha going to the line. Another look at that 3-pointer from De Leon from that right wing. Here comes Bon Irvin Daha at the free throw line. Brother of Bon Ernest Daha. of the De La Salle Green Archers.
I wonder paano sila tinatawag sa bahay. Irvin tsaka Ernest kaya.
Baka Bon.
Bon 1, Bon 2.
B1, B2 ah. Siguro nakapajama din sila no sa bahay. Na stripes, blue and white stripes. Here comes Antipolo. Speaking of blue and white, that's their colors. Here comes Mandaluyong. El Duayan all the way against Ferrer. What a move coming from El Duayan. Meanwhile, Ferrer eager to answer back. Antipolo kicks it out. De Leon for 3. Does not fall. Daha with the board. The tempo is rising. Chua, quick fire. Unable to hit it. He has it once more. Sends it inside, back outside. Bon Irvin Daha has the leather. Losing it. Ferrer. Forward pass to De Leon. But he loses it in transition possession going to Mandaluyong.
Whenever Bon Daha is trailing you there, dadalawang isip ko talaga and see the finish here. Well, Duayan, what a finish, getting the contact despite that, finishing at the hoop.
Here comes the golden hand off the glass.
Well, let's see if this gets Iris Chua going, his first bucket of the day.
Here are the Titans. Oh, Chua able to intercept the passing lanes. Gives it off to El Duayan, but they're forced to reset. Bon Daha fouled on the floor. So that foul called on Penning. So that's another pair of free throws for Bon Irvin Daha. And props to the Mandaluyong Junior Microsmith squad. Only one foul so far. But here comes Coach B-Boy Simon calling a Nature Spring timeout as the Junior MPBL shall return. Back to the action here in the only Ynares Sports Arena in Pasig.
Not to be confused with
The Ynares Arena in Antipolo. Meanwhile, Bon Irvin Daha, B1, making the first free throw. If I'm not mistaken, Coach, tatlo sila, di ba?
I believe so, but I'm not sure kung ano yung Bon
Blank Daha. Bon E Daha.
That's for sure.
But right now, 2 out of 2 for the Daha that is in this game. Meanwhile, Quintero, no good at that baseline jumper as Daha able to secure the possession. Chua sends it to the middle. Losing the leather that time was Bawi. Here comes Bailon. This time, great passing from Antipolo off the glass. That time it's Penning.
They'll take it. Doesn't have to be pretty, but if it's good, it's good.
In any way they can. El Duayan sends it to Daha. Entering the paint and imposing his dominance is Bon Irvin Daha.
I'm just waiting on Bon Daha to just yam on someone. The way he takes it. Sorry, look at that. Just 2 dribbles. He's right there. Picks the ball up. Pound for pound fitness. Foul counted play of the game. He's just too big. He's a mismatch. If you put the smaller guy on him, he's going to post you up. If you put a big guy on him, he's too quick. That's tough.
And we saw him pump fake from the 3-point line. So, Coach, alam mong he has the confidence to shoot from 3. because I doubt he'll pump fake for no reason. But meanwhile, a stoppage of the play. Coach Mark Herrera and our officials having a conversation together with Coach Yong Katekista.
Looks like a technical foul for the improper wearing of jersey. Which medyo marami nang natatawagan ng ganun dito sa first few weeks natin sa Junior MPBL. Once again, for those watching at home, our rule dito, not just in the Junior MPBL, even the Senior League, your jersey has to be tucked in before you enter the game. Pagpunta mo sa substitution. And even if you're subbed out, you can only remove your jersey pag nakaupo ka na. Not while you're walking towards the bench. Yeah, one of those things na kailangan masanay yung mga players natin with.
It's as technical as it gets. But yeah, you have to live with it. You have to live with that rule. Meanwhile, 3-point lead for Mandaluyong. Last 13 seconds. Ferrer with the leather. Antipolo having the possession, and that time going in for Penning. And that will be the end of our first period. It's 22-21. 1-point lead for the Mandaluyong Junior Microsmith. Crazy quarter, close game so far. The Junior MPBL shall be back. Back to the action here. 22-21, 1-point lead for the Mandaluyong Junior Microsmith as we enter our second period. And we see Coach Mark Ordonez and Coach Oscar B-Boy Simon, both players. Coach Mark recently played for the PCU Dolphins just 2 seasons ago. And Coach B-Boy Simon, an NBA legend.
Again, I was right there when he scored 52 points against my dad's team, the Manila Metro Stars. Fortunately, Manila still won that game by a hair. But what a game, Coach B-Boy.
And right now, he's still where you are, Coach. Ynares Chua, the golden hand, making a statement, shooting it from BGC.
So I like your nicknames, ha? Kanina pa, first game pa lang, the Iron Heart. Now we have the Golden Hand. Tatluhin mo na mamaya in the third game.
Yeah, but I wasn't the one who made those nicknames, Coach. I actually asked Domingo. He told me he's called Iron Heart. I asked why. He didn't know the reason. And same with this guy, the Golden Hand. I think it's self-explanatory why he's called the Golden Hand.
Obvious naman para sa ating nanonood why Ynares Chua is the Golden Hand.
Meanwhile, Bailon firing for 3. Gets it to go! After not scoring a single point last game, he now has 3 points. Mandaluyong has it. Almonte backing down Penning. Oh, big boy moves all the way from the baseline.
Just bulldozing his way, much like what Manila did in that fourth quarter against itong Antipolo JY Titans.
Hilario has been phenomenal last game. Now at the corner, firing. Another make from Bailon.
Oh, we talked in the pregame about the three-point shooting nitong JY Titans, which was absent in their first game. Only 2 of 18, but right now, oh my goodness! Iris Chua. BGC yung kanina, saan to, Cho?
I don't know, Mandaluyong probably.
From City Hall.
The golden hand making a statement. Another statement. Hilario at the corner. Back to Bailon. Oh, losing the leather. Antipolo recovering. Inside pass. Intercepted. Daha on the run. Here comes Bondaha. Losing the leather. Recovering it. Making the bucket.
You know, if he was a smaller player, that could have been a loose ball, but he's so tall, natapik pataas, it turned into an alley-oop.
Sakto lang sa mukha niya, coach eh. Yung ball eh. Meanwhile, Hilario firing. That is off the mark. Here comes El Duayan behind the back move. Sends it out. The golden hand for 3. Doesn't fall. Almonte with the offensive board but steps on the line. Antipolo gaining possession.
Masyado atang malapit yun for Iris Chua. He needs to shoot that from a little past the half court.
And if you know Iris Chua again, you know he has his own 3-point line. Meanwhile, Bailon, the confidence is there. Short, Hilario put back, goes in. Jed Hilario scoring 12 points, getting a board and 1 block in his last outing. So here comes Daha. Now to El Duayan, losing it, but a foul called on Jed Hilario.
Oh, we expect heavy minutes for guys like Taha, Chua, El Duain, because these 3 guys, they will carry this team every game.
Definitely. As Daha now gives it to El Duayan, now Chua at the corner. That doesn't fall. Almonte tried to get it, but ends up with Antipolo, or rather Mandaluyong still with it as Almonte the spin and the shot.
Oh, the length of Mandaluyong coming into play in that sequence.
Abekibel for 3. That doesn't fall. And a foul inside the paint. I believe that is called against Bon Irvin Daha.
Maybe that's one way to stop Bondaha. Get him into foul trouble. That's the second foul here. Now he's going to be subbed out.
So it's now 2 fouls for Mandaluyong. 1 team foul for Antipolo.
Mandaluyong has done a good job of not fouling too much.
Ferrer doesn't fall. Rebound by Manda. They are running. Sends it to El Duayan. Inside. Getting it to go. Courtesy of number 21 of Mandaluyong. As at Nature Spring, timeout called by Coach B-Boy Simon. Another look inside. And that is a beautiful play as we'll be back after this Nature Spring timeout. Over 5 minutes remaining in our second period. 36-28. 8-point difference. Mandaluyong in the lead. Antipolo with the possession. Abekibel to Ferrer. Back to Abekibel. Bailon. Abekibel, top of the arc. He attacks. Oh, great defense. But Abekibel was able to get it back. But is actually called for a blocking foul. So it'll be the golden hand bringing it down as Mandaluyong setting up a play. Justin El Duayan. The screen from Iris Chua. El Duayan against Ferrer. putting on the move, the spin, sends it out, mid-range jumper, doesn't go. Almonte, offensive board, putting it back inside.
Mandaluyong just bully-balling their way to this 10-point lead right now, and Antipolo falling into the same trap as what happened to them against Manila.
Nino Ferrer attacking, losing it. But a foul is called. Only, or rather that is now the fourth team foul of Mandaluyong. So we see the putback from Almonte. Kanina pa natin siya nakikita, bumabangga, rumi-rebound, tumatalon.
Sa lahat ng contact, nandun siya eh.
Pacaldo now in the floor. Bailon, the left wing. Now center of the arc. Abekibel. Ferrer, left wing three. Doesn't go that time. Almonte, high in the sky rebound. But Pacaldo able to get it back. Abekibel brings it down. Thought about the three, sends it to Ferrer. From the baseline, drives.
Ooh.
Oh! Almost a make, short on the reverse lane. Here comes Iris Chua, gives it to El Duayan. He attacks, oh, falls on the floor, no foul call. It stays with Manda. Chua to El Duayan. He attacks, sends it out. Another three-point attempt, not falling. Antipolo securing the board. Oh! Mark Quintero with that Pinoy step.
Favorite ni Quintero eh. Last game pa niya ginagawa yung Pinoy step.
El Duayan hands it off. The golden hand being bothered by Bailon. Stellar defense from the guard. Forced to give it away. Almonte asking for the golden hand, but he will take it inside. Great defense for Mark Quintero against Almonte. Here comes Abekibel. Takes it to the other side. Bailon inside the key jumper, gets it to go.
And now Antipolo deploying a box-and-one zone against Iris Chua. Right now just staying at home, really not helping to si Bailon. Just staying with Chua all the way through.
6-point lead for Mandaluyong. Almonte powering his way inside, sends it out. El Duayan with the leather against Ferrer, mid-range jumper, silky, smooth.
If there was any question if Justin El Duayan's game will translate to the 18 under, and he is answering all those questions right now.
In and out for Antipolo. That was Ferrer. Nonetheless, here comes Mandaluyong. Inside. Losing the leather that time. Ends up with Nino Ferrer. He attacks all the way to the hoop. Cuts it to 6 as a Nature Spring timeout called by Coach Mark Herrera. What a run it has been for Antipolo. Another look at that Nino Ferrer gliding through the air. And the junior MPBL shall be back. Back to the action here. Ynares Sports Arena. The only Ynares Sports Arena in Pasig.
Not to be confused with
The Ynares Arena in Antipolo.
Center.
My
Ynares Center.
Ynares Center rather. That is two different arenas. Meanwhile, Bondaha sends it to the golden hand. Harassed by Bailon. He still has it. Sends it inside. Not able to make it. Here comes De Leon, 2-on-1. Espayos scoring 2 points. And speaking of John Richard Espayos, shout out to his father, Coach Kiko Flores, head coach of the Ames Blue Sharks. And congratulations as well to John Richard Espayos. Sabi ni Coach Kiko, he attended his high school graduation yesterday.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes, and he would like to say that He's rooting for his son and he wishes him the best in today's game. Meanwhile, Mandaluyong has possession. Daha, the big guy, handling the leather, sends it out. Satparan, out to Daha. Mid-range jumper, going in. A guy as big as Bondaha.
That's silky smooth for Bondaha. Not a lot of kids can make a play like that.
Definitely. Not a lot of people can make plays like that. Espayos missing the mark. Satparam with the board. Up and running is Mandaluyong. Doesn't go for Daha. Or rather, that is Almonte.
Almonte, just a beast in the paint. Di mapigilan.
Getting confused with Almonte and Daha. Both guys are really just eating everyone in the paint as Bailon off the glass finding an opening. Cutting the lead to just 6 right here, and we're ending our second quarter 44-38. We shall return for the start of the second half. Back to the action here as we're waiting the start of our third period as we see some halftime highlights coming from Mandaluyong and Antipolo. Of course, the guys making some noise, Almonte and Bailon for Mandaluyong and Antipolo respectively. Coach Mark, crazy first half but we still have a close game.
Antipolo has done a good job answering yung mga runs nitong Mandaluyong. Just when you thought Mandaluyong was going to break away after the 10-point lead, Antipolo forced some turnovers, got some easy layups in transition. We'll see the leading scorers from Mandaluyong, Almonte with 13, Daha with 12, and Iris Chua with 8. No surprises there. Antipolo naman, Bailon off the bench with 9, Quintero with 6, De Leon with 5. So far, if you're Coach B-Boy Simon, you're happy with what you're seeing, pero you understand they're still down 6 points. You have to put in double effort dito sa second half.
If you're Coach B-Boy Simon, I'm sure you're aware that your team is considered the underdogs. But right now, let's head over to our fan of the game, courtesy of Chris Jacob Collections. The new generation air freshener room and linen spray is your everyday essential partner in keeping your surroundings feeling fresh, disinfected, and hotel-like. Experience a sense of royalty with the one and only Chris Jacob Everywhere Sprays. And that's the buzzer sounding as we shall head to our third quarter in a bit.
Hotel-like. Gusto ko yun.
Yes, Coach. Kahit magulo yung kwarto mo, basta ganun yung amoy eh.
Walang problema.
Kailangan. Kailangan din malinis pala. Yun yung requirement para maging hotel-like. But we see right now the Mandaluyong Junior Microsmith entering. Same with the Antipolo Titans.
I like it. Antipolo's not intimidated by some big names dito sa Mandaluyong. I mean, you're looking across Bonda, Iris Chua, Batanguila standouts. Antipolo has come to play here this afternoon despite that disappointing loss against Manila last weekend. They've responded well. Although they're still down 6 points, they have to do a better job containing the paint. They have allowed 26 points in the paint for Mandaluyong. And they've been out-rebounded 21-14. So Antipolo has the work cut out for them. Easier said than done. You know, with this big trio of Almonte, Daha, and Chua leading the way for Junior Microsmith.
And it's not like Antipolo doesn't have any offensive weapons. So far, quiet in the game is Jed Hilario, but let's remember last game off the bench, he produced 12 points. Shooting 41% from the field, making 1 3-pointer. So, if you're talking about bench power, you have him. You have him to put out.
And so far, yung front line of the JY Titans has responded well to the challenge. I'm sure they can do better in the second half, but ito yung response na gusto ni Coach B-Boy Simon, you know, hindi sila intimidated. You know, Bonda 6'4", 6'5", who can put the ball on the floor and easily can intimidate anybody here. Pero, I mean, they take after their coach. Coach B-Boy Simon doesn't take no for an answer, and he will play hard until the final buzzer.
And we see right here, Zion Martin going in for the Antipolo Titans, scored 7 points, got a rebound, 2 assists, 2 steals, and played almost 20 minutes in the last game, only seeing action right now. Perhaps a change of rotation coming from Coach B-Boy Simon. Richard Espayos as well also played almost 13 minutes in the last game, seeing much more action right now. Meanwhile, Antipolo having possession. That doesn't go in for Pacaldo. Here comes Mandaluyong. The golden hand has the leather against De Leon. Sends it to the big guy, Daha. Attacks the paint. Nothing you could do but to foul.
That's such a tough cover. You know, Daha putting the ball on the floor. And the problem here, Chua's man is staying home. Iris Chua is just hanging out by the half line, allowing Daha to carve up 4 defenders kasi kulang ng isa. And obviously, kulang pa rin yung help na pinapadala para dito kay Bon Daha.
Certainly a tall order to guard. Of course, first and foremost, a Batanguila standout in Bondaha. As we see Coach Mark Herrera. Of course, a well-known coach in the basketball world. Coaching this squad alongside his former player, Coach Yong Katikista. Right now, it's Mandaluyong able to regain possession. The golden hand against De Leon, putting on the moves. The screen, not used by Iris. Chua gives it out to El Duayan. El Duayan losing it. Espayos able to get the leather. He brings it down. Espayos sends it out. De Leon, corner three, puts it in from that right pocket three.
After just making 2 threes in their first game, Antipolo has drastically improved in that number. They're shooting 5 out of 13 right now.
Daha doesn't go. Great defense from Antipolo, but Iris Chua in and out for the golden hand. And Daha tried to slam that one home, but will settle for a simple off the glass layup.
Kulang lang sa talong. We're waiting for that yam from Bondahay. It'll come
Hopefully it will.
today.
Hopefully it will today. Yes, I'm sure at some point of the season, makukuha niya rin yan. As Espayos not able to put that one in. Here comes El Duayan. Great passing. Ends up with the golden hand. Espayos able to get a hand on it, but Satparam puts up a shot, getting fouled. 2 free throws on the way for the Mandaluyong junior Microsmith.
There's so much attention being given to Iris Chua. It's freeing up Bondaha, Satpanam, Almonte to really get in the paint and dominate. Because that attention is on Iris Chua. Every time he has the basketball, he's attracting 2 or 3 defenders.
So far, 2 fouls on the name of Antipolo. Mandaluyong has been great in minimizing their team fouls, as that is off the mark from Satparam. John Richard Espayos bringing it down. Nino Ferrer back to Espayos. Now De Leon has it. Great passing from Antipolo. Espayos with it. Sends it to De Leon. They're going for that swing play. Ends up with Ferrer. Gives it to De Leon. Traveling violation called on De Leon.
And that's a call that Coach Mark Herrera has been asking for since the first quarter. He feels like these Antipolo Chewa Titan players are always traveling after that initial jab step.
Props to Coach Mark Herrera. He really implemented that offense. They were forced to just swing it around the arc. Mga Coach Mark talaga, no? Mga gagaling na coach.
Maaga pa. So, may araw pa.
But meanwhile, here comes Bon Irvin Daha. Fade away, one-hander. Doesn't matter.
What can you do? You're playing great defense, but just a great player in Bondaha finding a way to make a basket.
Again, nothing you could do but to watch him do those amazing things. Meanwhile, the steal. Almonte all the way. Too strong. Espayos comes with it at the break. No go. Obviously, he was afraid of the tall defenders in front of him. Here comes Daha. Another one-hander fading away from the basket, plus a foul. That is ridiculous.
What can you do? The defense is right there. He takes the hit. He's fading away. Has the wherewithal to kiss it off the glass.
That is a pound-for-pound fitness foul counted. But now let's turn it over to our CSR, Miss Daphne Cristobal, for a report after this Nature Spring timeout.
You know what, Choi and Coach Mark, it's very rare to witness Coach Mark Herrera to be very calm, especially during the halftime. Kasi usually, whether lamang sila or sila yung naghahabol, iba talaga yung nagiging energy ni Coach Mark, especially kapag nasa huddle. So he was just reminding his squad na dapat clear shot yung gawin nila, huwag yung pilit na mga tira. In terms of ball movement, dapat mas paikutin pa nila para magkaroon sila ng higher assists. They should also continue their dominance in terms of rebounding. And syempre yung mga bench players, always be ready to step up whenever they are needed. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Daphne, for that report. And actually, it's very contradicting. Coach Mark is known to be good at handling small ball lineups. No? Yung puro 3 points. You know, tulad ng AMA University Kings lineup niya. Napakaliit. Pero kita mo naman, is very performing very well. Meanwhile, Daha. Oh my goodness. I have no words for Bon Irvin Daha.
What can you do? This is the third time I've said it. I will keep saying it because you can't do anything about it. That's just talent, the height, and what he brings to the game.
Meanwhile, Antipolo failing to find an answer against Bon Irvin Daha. Here comes Mandaluyong. Unable to put that one in. Still won't go. Third try, Almonte. The offensive boards by Almonte is ridiculous. Meanwhile, Ferrer unable to put that one in. Great defense from Satparam, forcing him to that Euro. Meanwhile, El Duayan putting on the moves. Losing it. De Leon running the other side against Da. He attacks. And David slaying Goliath in that play.
Smart play there. Changing directions every once in a while to confuse Daha, not enabling him to block the shot.
Mandaluyong sends it out. Daha for 3. Gets it to go.
What can't he do, Cho? He's showing the entire bag in this third quarter. Much like, again, the last game nitong Antipolo. One guy went off this time. It's Bon Irvin Daha going off in the third quarter.
Batang Gilas for a reason. That is Bon Irvin Daha. Meanwhile, Antipolo losing it to Mandaluyong. Here comes El Duayan. The bump. No foul call. Nashon running the other way. Sends it to De Leon, but that is too strong.
What is it with the Batangilas players in playing Antipolo and going off in the second half? Last game, it's Benedict Jimenez. Now it's Bon Irvin Daha.
Right in cue again, Bon Irvin Daha, as we see the replay of him taking a 3-pointer. Do they hate Antipolo or something? Meanwhile, Bon Irvin Daha, again, the guy we've been talking about all game, escaping the defense, attacking the paint, but not that time. Looking for a foul call. Zion Martin putting on the move, sends it out. Abiki Bell fouled on the act of shooting. 2 free throws coming up for him.
One of the rare times Bon Daha wasn't able to finish in transition, but suddenly 16-point lead thanks to Bon Irvin Daha. Just unstoppable. He had 13 points in the first half. Right now, he's doubled that. He has 26, so 13 points here in the third quarter alone.
What a game it has been, as we see Coach Biboy Simon really trying to figure out what they need to do against Mandaluyong and, more importantly, against Bon Irvin Daha. And Iris Chua hasn't even popped out yet. What more if parehas sila? Meanwhile, Jed Hilario stops and pops.
Antipolo slowly plugging away, forcing these turnovers. Now it's Bon Irvin Daha being denied the ball.
And finally, they come to their senses as they assign size to Daha. Meanwhile, Almonte getting all the contact he can inside. 2 fouls, or rather 2 free throws coming up for Almonte.
Almonte now has a double-double, 13 points, 10 rebounds. The spotlight has been on Daha and Chua for good reason, but Almonte and Satparam have played very well, really protecting the paint. Satparam has 6 points and 10 rebounds. So andun yung backup nitong dalawang star players ng Mandaluyong.
Height is might indeed. Almonte, Satparam, Daha, all long and lanky players. Martin for Antipolo has it. Sends it to Hilario. He fires the lefty. Doesn't go. Almonte climbing up the ladder for that board. Daha guarded by Saez rather. Daha all the way. Doesn't fall. Hilario ends up with it. Great pass to Abikibel. Satparam unable to stop Abikibel.
Antipolo still fighting. It's still early in the second half. Di naman sobrang laki na lamang, but they have to keep plugging away here.
The fire doesn't go. Abikibel running once more. Foul called, I believe that time, on Tolentino. Yes, it is indeed on Tolentino. So that'll be the second team foul of Mandaluyong. But 2 more fouls to give. Antipolo, no more fouls to give. Martin sends it to Nashon. Martin receives it once more. Abikibel sends it out. Nashon backing down. Offensive foul called on him.
And Nashon just excessively swinging the arm. And that's the 5th foul on Nashon. He's the main big guy for Antipolo. It's either the swing of the elbow, the easy call to make for a refs. Despite kahit wala masyadong contact yun, but the swing and how excessive it was merited the offensive foul.
So another tall guy in this Antipolo lineup is Nino Ferrer.
And another tall guy for Mandaluyong is Curva, number 5. Bagong pasok lang. And another uniform technical, this time on Antipolo.
Coach B-Boy Simon not loving that one. Tough break for Antipolo. And the worst guy to put on the line, the Golden Hand. Again, relatively quiet in this ball game, but as if he needs to make more noise.
And so far, hindi kailangan thanks to Bonor Vindaha, the Almonte, as well as Satparam, just doing enough to kind of comfortable 13-point lead for Mandaluyong so far.
Here comes El Duayan, picked up by Zion Martin. Still with El Duayan, but will give it to Iris Chua. Out to El Duayan, foul called on Zion Martin. Oh, they've reached the foul limit. Free throws coming up for Justin El Duayan.
And it's just one of those fouls that really hurt because there's no threat. You're fouling a guy 30 feet away from the basket. And it's a scorer like El Duayan.
The Mandaluyong Junior Microsmith again, the reigning national champions, and with Bon Irvin Daha on the lineup along with Almonte, Satparam, Iros Chua, it's not impossible for them to achieve that.
Imagine losing a guy like JV Hinoguin, who scored 17 points per game, and Russell Bayani, the 2 best guys on your team, and then reloading with Iros Chua and Bon Irvin Daha.
That's got to be an upgrade of some sorts. And by the way, Russell Bayani was the MVP. So definitely big shoes to fill. But I'm sure it's possible that their shoes are even bigger.
Well, if Daha continues to play this way, it's an early, I know it's their first game, pero kung ganyan lang ang nilalaro ng batang ito, he could be a shoo-in for MVP.
That is an early take.
It is a very early take, but he's been very impressive.
Yeah, but who knows? Maybe the thing that will stop him from earning is the games played. As he is again a Batangilas standout. But meanwhile, offensive foul called on Iros Chua.
No, I think that defense is really getting to Iris Chua bit frustrated that he's not getting clean looks. You know, that's the respect the opponents are giving him.
Abekibel. Last 7 seconds. Ferrer sends it out. Hilario. Another kick out. Martin. Unable to put that one in as we will end this third quarter. 64-49. Dominating 18-point lead for the Mandaluyong Junior Microsmith. And what a game it has been. But nonetheless, we shall return for some fourth quarter action. Back to the action here. Once again, Ynares Sports Arena in Pasig. 64-49. Mandaluyong dominating the Antipolo JY Titans as we enter the fourth and final chapter of this book.
So far, quarter scoring has belonged to Mandaluyong in the big third quarter, outscoring Antipolo 20-11 to pump up this 15-point lead.
That goes in, courtesy of Lordy Size.
The three-pointer has been a friend para sa Antipolo, but they need to make more and get more stops.
So the lead has been cut down to 12. Still more than possible to come back in this ball game.
Coach B-Boy Simon not happy with the call, but again, much like nung first weekend natin, so we saw a foul like this one. You have to allow the jump shooter to land clean. The problem was the defensive player was in the cylinder ni Elduain, not allowing Elduain to land clean. That's why the referees called the foul.
First one going in for Justin Elduain. Second one on its way. Again, the second leading scorer of the 16 under division last year for Mandaluyong. So make that a 14-point lead once again. Abekibel sends it to the side. Ferrer, mid-range jumper going in from inside the key.
Very soft zone for Mandaluyong, allowing that flasher in Ferrer to get the ball on the nail for the easy jumper.
Elduayan putting on the moves. Bailon harassing him. Sends it to the golden hand. Unable to put that one in. Almonte fighting. Putting his life on the line for that board. But Antipolo. Abekibel attacks. Challenging Bon Irvin Daha.
That's the second time Abekibel has finished over Bon Irvin Daha.
And all 5 players trying to really stop Bon Irvin Daha, and it's successful.
You need 5 players to stop him.
Bailon stops. Unable to put that inside. Here comes Justin Elduayan. Chua. Almonte this time. No go. Almonte once again. I wonder how many rebounds he's got. Last mention mo, Coach, 10 rebounds.
It's probably up to 14 now. 12 na siya kanina.
Abekibel getting fouled on his way, but that will be a foul on the floor.
Coach B-Boy Simon doing a great job adjusting his defense. Denying Chua, denying Daha, allowing itong si Elduain. See the finish by Abekibel over Bon Irvin Daha, getting away with the stiff arm there, but not enough to get an offensive foul.
Double-digit lead nonetheless for Mandaluyong. Ferrer sends it to Abekibel. Thought about the 3, ends up with Bailon. He attacks Crazy shot doesn't fall. Foul called on Bailon. So possession going with Mandaluyong. Two team fouls so far for Antipolo. Mandaluyong with one. So it'll be Daha. Baseline inbound. El Duayan bringing down the ball. He's up against De Leon. Asking for Almonte. Almonte trying to get open, but De Leon called for a foul.
That's a foul. I mean, crowd doesn't agree with it, but before he got the steal, that was a push-off.
El Duayan sends it to Daha. He loses it. Turning the ball over to Antipolo.
This is the defense that you want if you're Coach B-Boy Simon. You see the replay here. That earlier foul. See the push-off on the right arm.
Abiki Bell sends it out. Ferrer, top of the arc. Unable to put that one in. El Duayan with the board. Daha brings it down. Has been the guy for Mandaluyong. Saus assigned for him. The foul. The shot. Count it and one.
If you're size, he played that as best as he could. He caught the first move. He caught the spin, just bailing him out on the foul. But the presence of mind to stay in control and follow it with that fadeaway. Bonner Vindaha.
Pound for pound fitness. Foul count and move. But Daha missing the bonus free throw. Make that a 12-point lead for Mandaluyong. A tall order for Antipolo. Abeki Bell sends it to De Leon for three. Doesn't fall on that lucky bounce. Daha to El Duayan. Picked up by Abeki Bell. Hands it off to Chua. Firing for three. That doesn't fall. Antipolo another chance.
Antipolo cannot just fall in love with a three-point shot. I know it's going in. They've made 6, but they've missed a lot as well. They are 6 of 21 from the outside. Can't rely on that to... Don't have to hit a home run to get the comeback going.
De Leon off with that runner, but he gets the ball back. Firing for three. The foul. Oh, no foul. So no call from our official. Here comes Daha all the way.
Undeterred, just like a truck on the South Superhighway.
Abeki Bell attacking the paint once more. That has been good for him so far.
He's been a spark off the bench for Antipolo, Abeki Bell.
Doesn't fall for Mandaluyong, but some contact underneath the basketball going to Antipolo.
Bonner Vindaha now with 30 points, 9 rebounds, working on a double-double. Probably he's going to get it.
Santillan to that left wing. Abeki Bell losing it. El Duayan, stellar defense. He is running up the floor. Getting the foul is De Leon. Make that the foul limit for Antipolo. So 2 free throws coming up for El Duayan.
That's big because there's still 5.5 minutes left dito sa fourth quarter natin. Now, Antipolo's defense has been very aggressive in this fourth quarter, but when you're very aggressive, you tend to foul more, and that's the case right now for the JY Titans. Every foul will send Mandaluyong to the free throw line, so they can't be as physical as they've been dito sa fourth quarter.
El Duayan makes the first one. Second one going in, 2 out of 2 for Justin El Duayan. 14-point lead for Mandaluyong. How will Antipolo respond? Ferrer Contested fadeaway going in anyway.
Pretty shot from Nino Ferrer there. But they need stops. They're getting baskets, but they need more stops.
Bon Irvin Daha against Ferrer. Oh, Ferrer able to get a hand on it. Quintero recovers. The attack, Santillan failing to do so. Possession with Mandaluyong. They have the upper hand. Under 5 minutes remaining in our final chapter. Satparam, too big, too strong.
Nobody from Antipolo finding Satparam there underneath. Masyadong libre. And a turnover, unforced error for the JY Titans. Those turnovers really hurt your chances of coming back. It's either the late rotation to Satparam, very basic, keeping the ball high and finishing over the defender.
So make that a 16-point lead. Correction, a 14-point lead for Mandaluyong. Eldoayan all the way.
And that's the problem now that Antipolo is in the penalty. The physical defense is gone. No more ball pressure, allowing Eldoayan to go free there for the layup.
And obviously Mandaluyong using it to their advantage as it's Santillan putting it in. Cutting the lead to 14 as a Nature Spring timeout called by Coach Mark Herrera. Back to the action here. 14-point lead for the Mandaluyong Junior Microsmith. Over 4 minutes remaining in our closing chapter. Antipolo again has reached the foul limit. Mandaluyong still 2 more fouls to give. Eldoayan bring the ball down against Abuan. Eldoayan still with it. Hands it off. Almonte. Great drop pass.
Again, nahihirapan na tong Antipolo to really be physical with their defense because they're in the penalty.
Hilario putting it inside. Long 2-pointer. And who knows, that may be a momentum boost that they need. Under 4 minutes remaining. Eldoayan. Daha provided the pick. Hands it off to Chua against Hilario this time. Iros Chua. Tough shot. Goes in. But an offensive foul called on the golden hand.
It's an offensive foul for an extended arm by Iros Chua there. Just warding off too much. Again, he's being frustrated by this defense of Antipolo.
Hilario once more. Another bucket, this time a 3-pointer. It's now just an 11-point lead. Oh, putting it in the paint is Satparam. Inside, once again, doesn't fall. That was Santillan who attempted. Bon Irvin Daha in his hands. Taking it inside, will take it out. Chua, in and out. De Leon. Now it's Abuan. Brings it down for the Antipolo Titans. Oh, Mark Quintero of that great drop pass. All alone, Almonte lays it up. So at this point, they can't afford to go back and forth. Abuan attacking. Getting fouled. 2 free throws coming up.
Mandaluyong kind of stepping off the gas a bit, allowing Antipolo to make a mini run, but that poor transition defense has been the weakness of Antipolo so far. See the foul there by Satparam, clear foul.
First one going in for Abuan. 12-point lead. Coach B-Boy Simon. Abuan. Short on that attempt.
With that rebound, officially there's 3 players from Mandaluyong with double-doubles. Daha, 30 points, 10 rebounds. Satparam, 10 points, 10 rebounds. And Almonte with 19 and 13.
Again, national champions, the reigning national champions. And it's not impossible for them to achieve that with those types of numbers and players.
And lost in the shuffle of Daha and Chua in the big games by Almonte. El Duayan quietly with 14 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists.
And as if Bon Irvin Daha isn't already a problem. Meanwhile,
And
De
that's
Leon.
been the scoring. Sorry, Cho. That's been the scoring for Mandaluyong. Nobody scoring off the bench for the junior Microsmith. Just these 5 guys on the floor.
That is an interesting thing to know.
No bench points.
But again, that I don't think that's a good thing. But at least for now, it is. At least for now, they're able to pull off possibly with this win as they have an 11-point advantage right now, a chance to make it 13.
And another funny stat I'm looking at the bench points, 52 for Antipolo, and as we said, 0 for Mandaluyong, but Mandaluyong's up 12 points.
So Antipolo, more than half of their points coming from the bench, and then Mandaluyong, no points coming from the bench. Contradicting fact for both squads. But then again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Almonte doesn't go. Almonte once again, 21 points.
14 rebounds after that last offensive rebound.
Coach, pag binench mo si Bon Irvin Daha, yun, meron ng points off the bench.
Take him off the bench and then immediately he scores.
And I'm sure if ever he's off the bench, he'll get starter minutes anyway. So
Mandaluyong just really showing off. We won't say deep, but the clip of Mandaluyong is parang na extra. Diba we have Daha and the attention was on Iris Chua the whole game. Rightfully so. Siyempre, you're going to defend someone who scored 121 points and shoots from half court. But Bon Irvin Daha is a different beast, as well as Almonte.
a lot of names to be mentioned for this Mandaluyong Junior Microsmith.
He's not done.
At this point, he's never done. Kala mo nag-drills lang, coach eh. Ginagawang coach yung kalaban. Yung mga De Leon. I think that will do it for our game. Definitely, again, a tough break for Antipolo. It was a close game, actually, at the end of first. Actually, at the end of the halftime as well. But, yeah, I mean, you know, Mandaluyong just really leveled it up a notch. Daha, Almonte, all started to contribute more and more as the game progressed. And Antipolo had no answer for that.
And the same story for Antipolo. A Batang Gilas standout coming alive in the second half. Absolutely dominating. Resulting in another big win. And the defending champs showing the class early here dito sa season natin.
And we see both teams going at center court, greeting each other. And yeah, as the buzzer sounds, that will do it for our ball game. 87-73, a 14-point win for Mandaluyong, dominating the Antipolo Titans. What a game it has been. Of course, a lot of names for this junior Microsmith squad. We have Bon Irvin Daha, we have Almonte, El Duayan, we have Satparam. And again, they're only going to get better. And for Antipolo as well, props to De Leon, to Bailon, to Hilario, to Ferrer, and to Abeki Bell. Still put on a fight until Bon Irvin Daha happened. And the whole roster, the whole starting five rather, happened. So yeah, that will be a wrap for this ball game, but we'll still wait for our Don Benito's Pambansang Kazava to be reported by no other than Miss Daphne Cristobal, our courtside reporter.
Bon Daha, our player of the game. Congratulations to you and your team. Ito yung first time mo sa Junior MPBL. Alam naman natin, the previous season, grabe yung finish ng team ninyo and syempre yung age bracket. So paano mo hinandle yung pressure para makapag-produce ka pa ng 32 points and 9 rebounds sa larong ito?
Sinunod ko lang po si Coach Mark tsaka na binigyan niya lang po ako ng guidance para makakalaro ng maayos po.
Bon, for sure, maraming mga nanonood sa'yo. Baka may gusto kang batiin.
Shoutout for my family sa Davao and shoutout sa jowa ko dyan. Thank you.
Once again, congratulations to you and your team. And syempre, pasalamat din tayo sa Don Benitos for providing itong sumptuous food para sa ating player of the game. Don Benitos, ang pambansang kasama. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Daphne, and once again, our player of the game, no other than Bon Irvin Daha. Congratulations to the junior Mandaluyong Microsmith. And stay tuned, our next game featuring the last game between Antipolo and Mandaluyong. This time we go to the 16 under division. Once again, it's Chopanglinan, Coach Mark Dandan. And again, stay tuned as the junior MPBL shall return.